1964 brings Texas conservatives an unequaled opportunity. The opportunity to seat a man of outstanding capabilities in the United States Senate. This man is George Bush. George Bush, born a Republican. George Bush, success from scholar to business executive. Recognized for service to his country, industry, and community. Service to his party and to the rights of the individual. George Bush, sincere in his devotion to better government for all.
I believe we must stop the onrush of big government, crushing individual initiative under the heel of bureaucracy. Government must be given back to the people, and the United States must preserve and strengthen its system of free enterprise if we are to continue to prosper.
We'd like to show you what campaigning consists of these days. You see that? That's right, it's coffee. Coffee, coffee, and more coffee. This delightful beverage is poured at dozens of small rallies called coffees all over Texas, where dozens of charming young Republican women pour and sip and listen to George Bush explain why he's the man for the U.S. Senate. Then there's the handshake. Luckily, George is a southpaw, so if his right hand wears completely out shaking hands, he can still use his left for writing speeches, making notes, and dialing the telephone. Also waving hello and goodbye. And then it's speech making. George's audiences come from all walks of life at all times of day. From the senior citizens in McAllen to the young Republicans at Texas A&I at Kingsville. George doesn't tailor his speech to fit his audience. He tells them all the same things, that our government must be given back to the individual citizens, that our foreign image must be improved, that our tax money must be better spent, and they all love it. Then occasionally there's something like George's visit to Corpus Christi Naval Air Station, where he checks over one of the planes. George flew a torpedo bomber back during World War II. He got the Distinguished Flying Cross for completing a bombing mission on a Japanese-held island after his plane was set afire by anti-aircraft fire. He bailed out and set a new world's record for freestyle swimming before being picked up by an American submarine. Sometimes these campaign visits are pretty casual, like this wonderful morning coffee session at La Feria, where George Bush met with a group of this little city's top men. You don't think they're concerned about the way things are going in the United States today? Well, George knows different. Sometimes campaigning takes on the aspects of a picnic, and that's how it was in Kleberg Park Pavilion near the King Ranch not long ago when a group of George's friends staged this big tamale supper. They heard George Bush speak and were enthusiastic, as always. But maybe the tamales took the prize that night. George thought they did. George is talking to Richard Kleberg himself. And then there are the ladies. God bless them. Aren't they pretty? These young Republican women are just as pretty as a Texas bluebonnet. But more than that, they're smart and up to the minute on the issues of the day. Believe me, they tossed George Bush some pretty tough questions. But he's got the answers. They know it, and they love it. And that, friends, is campaigning.
George Bush, your Republican opportunity. The man for the United States Senate. A step in the right direction. Vote for George Bush in the Republican primary May 2nd.